That's exactly what I was trying to explain to them, but nobody was listening to me. You understand what I'm saying, right, Mom? Because
Oh
this
my
day and
gosh,
age,
this
like
woman
how
could
things
talk
working
Louis.
out, like only God can help us now, you know. Only God can help us. What that is? Oh, this is the Judah Experience app. You get updates on all of their events and their previous recordings of events like the Hub, Creative Tips, Harping Bowl, and even Preserve Intercession. You can even put in your prayer requests on this app. So how you just get that app? Well, if you're on Android, all you have to do is go through your Google Play Store app and download the Judah Experience app. And if you're on Apple, then you have to download the church app, and then you can search for Judah Experience there under churches. Yeah, it's really awesome.
Get connected, stay connected, and get plugged into the roar with Judah.
Everybody, how you doing? And welcome to the Den. Judah Experiences, we have a little place, a little space carved out in our den, and we want to invite you in. And today or tonight, we're going to talk about love. And our topic today is love on top. What is love? A definition and defining of love. And help us to define love are some, great people in our life. And I'm going to introduce them to you. We have Jermain.
Hi everyone. My name is Jermain Pratt.
All right. We have Lesley.
Hi everybody, I'm Lesley.
We also have Charles.
Hi everybody.
Charles.
Everybody, I'm Charles. I'm here against my will.
But love will make you do it. Charles is normally behind the scenes.
Yes.
And we have Ashley.
Hi everybody, I'm Ashley.
And here we have the lovely, the vivacious,
Man.
the strawberry
Okay, make me feel
into my chocolate.
That would be me.
One and only Audra Josephine Bain.
Hey everybody.
And I'm Brian Bain. And so welcome to the Den as we kick off this conversation. So when you hear the word love, it becomes a relative word. It means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. But so we're just going to have a conversation, talk about what does love mean to you. And to kick us off, I'm going to start with Mr. Jermain. What does love mean to you?
Okay, well for me, love, I think the first word that comes to me is covering.
Deep. We start off deep.
Sorry, it's covering, it's forgiving, it's sustaining. Those are the things that I think about when I hear the word love. That it keeps.
That's good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And now, the word covering. Now, when you hear a lot of people talk about covering, they actually hear a different thing, They think of captivity, and they cover and control, But, that's not what covering is about. Covering is supposed to be rooted in love. They're supposed to be synonymous with each other. You can't tell one from the other. But that's how we've been going around, in these days and times, So, Madam Lesley, what does love mean to you? Define love to you.
I think my definition of love is similar to Jermain. It is, I think whenever I think about love, I always think about love never fails. And that means that you find a way to accept people for who they are and love them through whatever they go through. So for me, I always look at it, and things like when he said love is covering, the first thing came to mind is love covers a multitude of sin. And so what it comes to me is that when you love, you look beyond faults, you look beyond wrongdoings, and you find what God placed in them and why God created them. One of the things that I think of when I think of love is I always ask God, show me the person through your eyes, because God is the ultimate form of love.
Yes.
And so I always try to say, God, teach me how to love people the way you love people. And I think that, and I always hear, it's just love is grace, it's giving grace. And that is my definition of love, giving grace.
Yeah. I like that, because I think that covers a whole lot of stuff, because if I could see you the way God sees you, I wouldn't love you based on something, or based on feelings, or based on what you do,
Or what you don't do.
or what you don't do. Because then that takes love to the place of it being unconditional.
Yeah.
It takes it to the place of being a wider spectrum. I take it away on the limits, because I see you the way God sees you. So when you fall, I see you the way God sees you.
Yes.
Yeah. When you make me mad, I still see you the way God sees you.
I might not act like I see you the way God sees you, but I still see you that way.
Right.
Because I had a little venom in it. When you make me mad.
But so it forces me to continue to see you the way God sees you.
Yeah.
It allows me to continue to go back to that place of, okay, you even in perfect sweets, get you together.
Yeah.
Because you ain't always nice. I show a person who always like you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was good.
So, I can't, because I want to ask another question, but it kind of spurs me on now, this conversation, in that now I'm hearing people talk about covering, and you talk about unselfish love, that loving people even in their mistakes. Now, how people at home are in love but aren't silly, aren't stupid. Like, how do you now have a place where you can recognize when it's that you're showing love, or when instead of being silly, where someone cannot take advantage of you, and Seth Chance is shaking his head a lot. You need all this.
Oh man, so it's funny how you go into that, because I was thinking about when you asked what is love. Love to me is mental. Like, how I feel is like when you understand the person as who they are as an individual, you love their good, their bad, and their ugly, but you're not forgetting that they are still human, and you know how to deal with them, and it would not, and your love towards them would not change.
Yeah.
And it's understanding the person with their actions, with their habits, and just loving them. You still being you with being able to allow some hurt to get into place, because no one's perfect, but you not change the way how you deal with the person.
Yeah.
Ashley, anything you want to add?
For me, love is a place of security and safety. Where you go after a long day, or that's where you could rest.
Yeah.
Love is a place of rest and comfort, and you could be vulnerable. That's love for me, a place of vulnerability.
Yeah. And everybody need that place.
Yeah, everybody needs that
Very
place,
important.
You need that place. So it then we have a whole lot of different stuff. So even in my covering, you being my covering don't necessarily only have to be a husband. You can be my covering sense of my parents. I can find rest in you as my parent. I can come, the place that I come, I'm not judged. So even when I may have made a mistake as a parent, and of course, as for us church-wise, as spiritual leaders, I should be able to come to you and say, and without judgment,
Correct.
or without feeling like when I leave here, I'm gonna feel worse than I came in, because I done beat myself up. Let's be real. Nobody just do you like you.
Right.
You just beat yourself up the most. So, in knowing that, so when I know that I can have safety in every aspect of it, that's a good place.
Yeah.
Love is safety.
Oh.
Yeah. My rest.
And I think one of the things, going back to what I was asking originally, how do you have love, and you love pure love, but not be taken advantage of, it comes back to what Jesus said. He says, okay, what are the top 2 commandments? He said, love God with all your heart, love mind and everything. And then he said, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Meaning, you love your neighbor with the parameters that you love yourself with. Meaning, self-love is one of the foundations for loving your neighbor. And as you love yourself, you won't abuse yourself.
Right.
You won't demean yourself. You won't take advantage of yourself. So love is like dynamic, whether it be relational, whether it be romantic love, or whether it be love of a friend or a sibling. Love is an exchange. It's a give and a take. It's go ahead. I see
But
that.
one of the things I was thinking of, we get a misconcept that because you love somebody, you can't tell them no, and you always do.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things we have to understand is the Bible says God chastens who he loves, those he loves. So sometimes that love requires boundaries, because if we let people just do whatever they want to do, they will never understand how they need to change, how their behavior, and they become selfish. So sometimes loving people does require you to set boundaries, not even just about loving yourself, but to love somebody also requires you to set boundaries for them, because you let somebody take their own recourse and let them do whatever they want to from a child, they become selfish. They're not good to anybody. Even they're not even good to themselves.
True.
And I think so sometimes we get a misconception that because we love somebody that you always have to agree with them. You always have to tell them yes. You always have to make them happy. But sometimes one of the best ways to love somebody is to tell them no.
Yeah. And I think you hit all right on the head with 2 Corinthians 13, when Paul says, when I was a child, I thought as a child. When I became a man, I put away childish things. Love spurs you on to maturity.
Yes.
And maturity into being the best you in all areas because of love. Love is pulling it out of you. Love is creating a space. And he was talking in the context of spiritual gifts, but he was actually talking in the context of love. And that's why God is love. And that's why love never fails, because God is always trying to get us out of mediocrity and out of the muck and the mire and pulling us to a higher place.
Yeah.
It wasn't covering me, but
Right.
Because you said love creates a space, and I think that's very important. You need space to grow,
yeah.
and so love doesn't suffocate.
Yeah.
It gives you that place that you can grow. So when you say it matures, you have to have that space.
Yeah.
So then, Jermain, what you're saying is, if you and I, just hypothetically, you and I, we're in a relationship, and if I don't message you every hour on the hour, that's okay.
That's quite fun.
Right.
And if you know Jermain, that is quite fun.
Because, so often, and of course, we're talking about the entire parameters of love, because so often, and I've seen it even with friendships. They figure because when I hear from you, that means you ain't, we this and we ain't that no more. Like, it's okay. It's okay if you don't talk for a day or two. That is fine. I'm not trying to hoover you. I'm trying to, like you say, smother and suffocate you. I'm giving you room to be you.
Correct.
Yeah.
And for me to be me. Because if I'm too much around you, you find yourself merging into that person, and before you know it, you taking on someone else's personality.
Yeah. Some people lose their identity in friendships
Yeah.
and relationships.
Yeah.
And it's like, who are you again?
Right.
Because we think love means the same.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was just about to say the exact same thing.
If I'm the same as you, that means, that I'm agreeing with you, that you want to do. That means I love you, but like you said, confronting.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're wrong. Sometimes it's a no.
Sometimes you're acting silly. Stop it.
Yeah. And even in that, it's like I learned to appreciate my friendships now versus back then, because I have a lot more friends who I always try to find friends who are not in the same ministry or in the same calling of what I do, because at the end of the day, I need your indifference.
That's good.
I need you to be uniquely you without you just agreeing with me. I don't need you to be another musician. I need you to be you. I need you to be so you could put me somewhere else because I need another perspective. I may need another perspective on a different situation. You understand? Because everybody experiences life according to how they grow and whatever they experience. And so my experience may or may not be always musically related.
Mm-hmm.
And so that may just be the way how I communicate. But your perspective may be just because you're more of an administrator, you think more organized and more, how can you, like, let's just say I have a situation whereas I say, okay, for me, discipline is more towards saying, oh, just practice. Listen to the song, you get it. But to them, it'll be like, for more organizationally, for those who are more gifted in administration, they'll be like, okay, Charles, if this is a situation, why not you just label from least to the most important, basically? And you go more like that. For me, it wouldn't really matter. I just listen to whatever song, however, and I just learn what and stuff. You'd be like, no, find your hardest song, go from there, and then go back, work your way back now. And that's how they would receive things differently.
And it brings balance.
Yes.
Yeah.
It brings a balance to your life.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Brian and I'll use this for an example, I definitely for a fact know we wouldn't have worked and we were exactly alike.
Mm-hmm.
We get each other. Mm-hmm. That's the uniqueness with us. Because listen, he is an extrovert and I'm an introvert. And there are times when Tilly, I like y'all.
Okay.
But then there are times when he can tell you could go, I good. I say home. But him, he just gotta get his fix it. He you know.
I want to call. How you doing?
Yeah.
You all right?
You know how the business going. Like when we first started dating after church, Brian, y'all know, y'all probably people know him. Like after church, he can shake everybody down. Me and Wale like, she said, oh, we have been here for the last 2 hours. Let's go. I'm hungry. But he got to do his too. And I had to learn that was him. But in our blood. Right. So I realized that it was him. And then what ended up happening, my love for him brought that out of me as well. So it allowed me to stop being selfish and thinking about me and realizing that, okay, this is something that is him, is who he is. That I can't take that from him. So you really could do one or two things.
Accept it or move on.
Hello.
And
I was waiting 34 years, so where was coming?
But also too, you brought up something that sparked a thought in my mind too. That love, like we said, love pulls some things out of you, pulls some journey and things that you don't even know you had. Because even though she says I'm an extrovert, I'm also very much an introvert. There are times when I retreat to my cave and I'm not talking to nobody. TV may not even be on. I just need some decompression time because I think a lot. Mm-hmm. Even when I'm talking, I'm thinking. Even when I'm interacting, I'm thinking. So sometimes that can be a bit overwhelming. So I need the time to just decompress.
That bear with disorder.
Yeah. It's like, because if you're going 1,000 miles an hour all the time, you never develop anything.
Yeah.
Right.
You have a bunch of things on the board, but nothing is developed. Nothing is streamlined. Mm-hmm. So, and then it spurred conversation between us because now she has to understand when I'm in my decompression mode or when I'm in my let's do this, let's do that mode, and and vice versa with her, because she has those things when she wants to talk to me and she don't care what's going on, what I doing. Stop the word, because you will listen to me.
Tell the world to let you walk because I want to talk.
But it takes understanding and knowing.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's a different level of love there.
Yeah.
I think another point I'm releasing is that it doesn't conform.
Oh,
it doesn't force you to fit a mold.
Yeah.
Understand? So like she had an understanding.
Yeah.
And he didn't force her to be this extrovert. He allowed her to be you.
Yeah.
She allowed him to be him. And I think a lot of the time people may think, if you love me, you're going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's really, you saw where, just listening to the story, you saw where I understood this person.
Mm-hmm.
And that helps me to love you even better.
Yeah.
So love understands.
It does. And love is intentional to understand. because I made a choice. This is one of the things that we often talk about was we made a choice to get to know one another. I didn't want to just be in love and enamored with the factor of having somebody. No, I need to get to know you, which means I need to get to know the parts of you that you don't even like.
Right.
Or the parts of you that you don't even recognize are there. Because there was stuff that as we dated and even now in marriage that we would be able to point out to say, you realize that you do this. And he said to himself, or he said, I would even say, I didn't notice it. Because I just figured that's just me.
Yeah.
Or it was just a part of your routine, so you don't pay attention to it. It's like, when you get up in the morning, you drink your water. This is my routine. Drink my water. Your next step is in the restroom. Wash your face. These kind of stuff, what you do. That's your routine. So it's automatic. So before you know it, there's parts of you that's become automatic and it ain't necessarily good.
Correct.
You are like,
so someone else seeing it, in that case for me is him. So he's like my mirror, and he points that thing out. Like, okay, but because he loves me, he does it. Because his thing is, I need you to go to public doing that. That right there, that's a little nasty, child. Deal with that.
Fix that, please.
But,
yeah, right.
Like I used to have this thing where, because I, can try stuff with sinus, I had this thing where I go in the middle of everybody while I'm talking, and she's like, stop.
You took me back to that guy.
Because I was so used to being to myself and in my own world that it didn't matter hill beings to me to do that.
Yeah, and one of the things that came into mind as Jermain was talking about conforming. One of the things I think where persons need to be wary of or be careful of is the love language, or the way you perceive love is most of the time what you give to people, but you can't put that expectation on them. You gotta allow people to be themselves, to show you the way how they choose to show their love language. That's because your love language may be physical touch and gift giving. You cannot expect the exact same thing coming from another person. So it's like, and that's one of the things I see a lot happen in this generation, because they believe because you're not giving me the love language I'm giving you, you don't love me.
Listen to me. That love language
if you need him for a manager,
message us right at and we'll connect you with him. But love language, this and that is something that we learned, but we knew it, but we learned it in depth during counseling. And the highlighting of it, of knowing that each of you don't have the exact same language.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And you have to be intentional to love the person the way they want to be loved. I go to piggyback on Charles when he said that, is that we expect people to love us the way we love, but then we at the same time don't love them the way they want to be loved.
Yes.
So we become very love is not selfish. It's not about self gratification. So it's not that they don't love you, but two, you have to sit back and say, okay, I'm a gift person, and you would want them to make an effort to be a gift giver. But at the same time, they are a time person, and you're too busy for them, and you're too worried about not getting gifts.
That's
So it's not only how we have to be mindful of how we receive love, but also how we convey it.
Yes.
What's I like when speaking, I may understand German, but I can't speak German. So we have to know, when I did my communication courses, they said, how do you encode and how does your receiver receive what you're encoding?
Right.
So now you have to be careful, if I'm a gift person, not to believe that my partner or my friend is a gift person. Have to not to give what I want to get. Sometimes we give what we think we give because we think they want what we want. No.
Come on, my God, please. Come on, my God, please.
Speak. Because we have to make sure that, and we probably touch this in a later part of the series, but that we are not shortchanging ourselves but trying to make everyone conform to us. Biology has taught me, even in friendships, biology has taught me that when you get two people together who are too closely related, who are genetically related, the offspring, there's a good chance the offspring is gonna be retarded or gonna be compromised. And so sometimes even our way of thinking, and Charles touched on this earlier, is compromised because we want everybody to think like us. No, everybody's not gonna think like you.
No.
And because you want everybody to suppress how they think, we lose out on different trends of thought because my idea should germinate with your idea, it should germinate with somebody else's idea, and we get the whole fullness of it. So we end up with retarded clans.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Clans of people who are cliquish and
That's good.
the old people tell have to say, you big dumb and happy. You are so dumb that you don't realize what you don't know. You don't know that you don't know what you don't know.
And you're happy with it.
And you're happy with it.
Well, something you said is a factor of loving and being able to being okay with the difference of love. One of the things I wanted to say was, and it's okay to say to the person, this is my expression of love.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that we need to be able to be honest with too. Because like Lesley alluded to, even as friendship, you are my friend, and if as a person, I love gifts and I love to give gifts as well. But I'm also a time person. So if I know where your strength is and I know where your aspect of love is, but if you give it a place and I feel like I want it more, it's okay for me to say, hey, I really would like to spend some time with you. It's okay to do that.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with doing that. And I can make you no smaller, no less. But you getting upset with her, I'm getting upset with Lesley because Lesley figuring she doing right by me because she giving me a gift. She figuring she doing right when I feel like there's a missing element. And it's okay for me to say, Lesley, I would like to spend some time with you. It's okay to say that.
We can't assume because we are in a relationship, friendship, siblings, parents, wife, husband, whatever, any kind of relationship, we can't assume people read minds. And I think that's where the downfall is that we might be similar, and because we believe we are similar, that we are exactly alike, and so you should know. And you can't make the assumption of everybody knows what you want, or everybody knows what you're thinking, or what you're going
We
through.
don't really know what we want. I mean,
Well, this has been some stimulating conversation and helping us to define love.
Yeah, I wanna.
Go ahead.
I think that was like a real thing for me this year, love languages, because I'm a gift giver and I'm a personalized gift giver. Like I have a friend, he always says that you give the sun, the moon, and the stars, right? So last year I had this thing where I used to say that people don't get me because I would give these really elaborate gifts, and then someone had to tell me you have to understand person's capacity.
Yeah.
Because if you given the sun, the moon, and stars, and someone give you a gift card, that may be their capacity to give you. So you can't shoot them because they ain't giving you the sun, the moon, and the stars. So I had to learn that. So
that's good too.
Yeah.
That's really good.
And then another caveat is some people who express love by giving gifts aren't necessarily the best at receiving gifts. Because there's some people, even compliments, it's like pulling teeth to get them to receive a compliment, So, but as we wrap all this up, this has been a stimulating, exciting conversation. But we could go on all day, but we gotta, for the presence of time, we'll continue with this next week, And so join us here at the Den next week, where we dive deeper into love and what it means. All right, so any other things to say there? Any housekeeping duties?
No, see y'all next week.
See y'all next week. Join us here. Like and subscribe to Judith's pages.
Right, go down there and share the
there on the side.
Share it.
Invite someone, tag somebody.
Download the app. We have an app now.
Do all of that.
All of that things.
But see y'all next week at the Den.
All right.